smoothly in the ninth chamber. But have y'all watch Wu-Tang, right?
Switch it like this.
Y'all watch y'all been watching Wu-Tang? Did y'all watch the first couple of seasons of Wu-Tang?
Mm-mm. I didn't watch any of
I
it.
watched the first two, but that was
First two?
so long ago.
Bro, the third one just came out.
Finally.
I swear, right? I think what was it, like a year, 2 years? Man,
At least.
are we officially live?
I haven't watched the Wu-Tang.
What's popping, y'all?
I haven't watched the Wu-Tang. Is it a Hulu Netflix series or something?
Hulu. Man, it is but I don't even lie. It's a really good series, though. I don't know how accurate it is to like their actual story and all that. I mean, RZA he helped produce it, so it might be semi-accurate, but
You assume it would be as close as they could get it.
yeah.
Without, like
Unless
taking certain. I mean, they probably take some type of drugs on there.
yeah, they definitely
Like,
got
smoke weed.
ODB
Bro, they be-
looking crazy.
They be shooting
ODB
at each
looking
other
crazy in
Yeah.
season 3, bro.
Because like I mean, you do everything within reason to not incriminate yourself, I guess. But like as long as you say it's like not 100% true, then you're not incriminating yourself. Because like the BMF show, like at the intro of every episode, it says like all of this stuff is based off of loose truths, and some of it may be over exaggerated for content. Like it says that as a disclaimer in front of every episode.
Yeah,
It's
so
all
I
based
feel
on
like
a
it
true
might.
story, but they don't want to like directly incriminate anyone that could maybe be involved because they're using like real names and shit.
Yeah, because I mean, like, they're quite literally using, like, it's their story. But I know, like, in some other things, like, for example, like the Mike Tyson documentary or, like, movie kind of TV show that came out, he was actually pissed about it because he didn't, like, agree with, like, all the things that they put in it type shit. And he was like, no, that's not how it went or, like, type shit. So, like, I wasn't sure if it was a situation like that because I initially watching the Mike Tyson one, I thought it was the same kind of deal. But,
We'll have to ask them.
yeah. Yeah, Mike Tyson.
But welcome everyone to episode 26
Welcome.
of the Water Wave Effect.
Welcome in.
Was this 3-4 weeks in a row now? We've been rolling. 5.
Yeah, is it?
We've been rolling forever, man.
Rolling
We've
rapid.
been rolling since
Since the
we
beginning
never
of the
stopped.
dawn of time.
And shout out
Since the
to you if you're
beginning of the
listening
wheel.
on Spotify or Apple or something like that too, because we're gonna try to get these uploaded to that as well. So shout out you if that's you.
I mean, you know the Vizio vibe, bro. The vision.
But yeah. Do we got anybody tuning in live yet? We got any fans? We got three fans. Nice.
Yo,
Three homies. What's good? What's
Good to know. Good to know there's some people tuning in. I know if you are just tuning in or watching this as the rerun, every Wednesday we go live on YouTube after this live stream and listen to your music, so you can submit that to waterwavetv.com to be on our next live or tonight if you are still if you're still whatever somehow watching this and you didn't see that we were also live. But yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
welcome.
listen to your music, we'll give you good reviews and all that. But get into some spicy stuff to talk about today. One thing that I don't know if it happened within last Wednesday to now, but Instagram launched their where you could pay to have the check
Yeah, no.
on your page.
They broke the internet with that for sure.
They definitely did, and it's kind of interesting because I don't necessarily hate or think it's like goofy for people to do it if you're doing it for the reasons it's meant to be done for, because it's supposed to be to verify that is actually your page, and that's why it makes you put your legal name in there
Yeah.
in like your bio. But you know, some people obviously, like most like music artists, are buying it to look famous or look like they have a higher stature.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know that you can buy your meta verification yet, even though everybody gets a notification on their homepage when they log in. So it's like it's interesting because like if you're a person that has a lot of fake accounts after them, like I'd say like one person I seen that bought it that made sense, that I was surprised I didn't have one yet, and I could be wrong, and maybe he did, but the Cool Kai guy, the guy that makes those shoes,
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure because like there's like a million spam pages of Cool Kais that are all fake accounts, and that
Yes.
shadow ban his account for some reason.
That's crazy.
I don't know if Nike like is just in cahoots with Mark Zuckerberg and is just like, yo, shadow ban this guy because
You
he's
never know
copying
those
our
big
shoes.
corporations.
But like,
getting
let's say
into
someone
pockets.
like him, if he bought it it would only help his business be like, yeah, this is the actual real one, so don't go follow and fuck with, don't send no money to like all these fake ones for some shoes or something.
Yeah,
Or it'll help
scamming
him actually
people.
like go to the top of the thing, because
Yeah, and his name's already out there. I feel like too, because he's had all them like the Nike cease and desist, and I think he's gone to court and stuff over some of that stuff. So
There's a lot of
I feel
legal
like it
information
don't
out
really, like his first and last name's already out there. You might as well grab your little check. Just
Yeah,
to
and that's
make
the
sure
funny
that
thing, too,
everyone's
is I've
ordering
seen
from the right place.
so many rappers that I didn't even know their names until like I just seen them like, oh wow, they got the little check now, let me click, and now I see that they got a fucking now I see their real government name
Now I
in
know
there,
the
and it's
real
like, what the
you.
fuck, like
So if they start calling people by their real
for
names.
$15 you like $15 you're willing to just throw your government out there, like for some of these rappers. Some
Man,
people
a lot
like
of y'all be saying some mad incriminating
I be
stuff.
feeling
I mean,
weird.
but the
I
thing
be
is,
feeling weird
stuff on
just
your
saying my
profiles.
government
The
name.
thing is,
like
though,
and that ruins
when
like
like,
when
that's
you
a whole
think
nother
about it though,
world,
when
know
you
what
get
I'm saying?
famous, like,
people are
or
gonna
if you're
know
if you're
that, but-
thinking you're gonna get
yeah.
famous, then people are gonna find out your real name anyway.
They're gonna
so you
know it
might as well
anyways, but
embrace your real
it's
name.
more of like
no matter
just
what
like
type of art
the
you're
image
doing.
on your
They
page.
gonna know.
You should
I
definitely
guess, but
embrace
what if you wanna
but,
change it?
like, I feel
I mean, you
like,
could you could change your real name, but they still gonna know your name.
I feel like there's a
It's
certain
gonna be on your
level
Wikipedia,
of,
nigga.
like,
If you want to be famous,
but I feel like before you make it though, there's like a certain level of like anonymity. Is that right?
Anonymity, yeah.
Anonymity.
Onomatopoeia.
Yeah, onomatopoeia. You know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat.
And then
But I feel like a lot of people like to have like a certain level of that before they blow. Because like once you've already made it, then it's just like, it's whatever. Then it's like, I mean, I'm untouchable at this point, kind of thing. But like, I feel like maybe when you're
no,
on the
yeah,
way,
I feel
you know what
that.
I'm
You
saying?
don't want it to be
Yeah,
super
but
personal.
When
for
you
sure.
underground, I feel like you probably don't want your freaking.
You don't want your
don't
just don't want
random
your
ass
name on
fans.
your
And
your
if you're like a
artist
street
name.
rapper or
Because
something,
bro,
and you're like, you're
think about it
telling
too, like
chicks all
this,
the
like
time,
bro,
you never know.
if you not supposed to be verified yet, and you just got your government out there, people searching up your records, people can
Everything.
search up anything on you now. They can search up where you
Bro.
live, your number, all types
find
of
your
shit.
Facebook,
could.
find your family,
That-
find where
yeah,
your family
like-
works.
like, I
a
get
lot
it,
of
like,
info.
Yeah,
That's
I get
crazy.
it. Like you want to verify
true.
that it's you, but are you big enough to the point where you need to verify that it's you? That's what I'm saying. Like a person like Cool Kai, all his information's already out there. So it's like you can look up Cool Kai and you'll find his first name. But then there's a lot of smaller people with maybe 5,000 followers, 3,000, maybe even 10,000 followers, or even a little bit more that you can search their name up and you ain't gonna find their first name. You ain't gonna find their birthday. You ain't gonna find nothing about them. And it's
Yeah.
just because
For
they're
sure.
still kind of getting bigger and they're still kind of becoming more known. So it's like, I don't know, maybe you would want to get all your eggs in a dozen or in a basket or whatever they say.
definitely
Want to get all that
figure out
together
your,
before you just throw your government
personal
On me,
what's
for
it called, your
real.
personal digital footprint in order and all that shit before
On me.
you actually exposing your real name. Yeah,
because imagine
Yeah.
someone like a Zodiac. Like imagine underneath Zodiac World it says, I don't even know his real name, but it says
it's like Tarek Armin,
yeah.
and you're
And
like,
it's Chris Johnson, just the most basic ass
Yeah,
name. What? That's your
Like,
name.
Chris
what?
Johnson. Yeah, like,
You go from being like Zodiac to now you have your name
to
under
Chris
it.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Just
You
some
Like
know?
nut
and that's
shit,
it has to
Like-
be in your bio to keep it
yeah,
keep
that
that
would be
check.
some nut shit.
Yeah,
And that's the only weird thing. And it's like, if you're just a normal everyday Joe and you want to verify, like, yeah, this is me, like I could see a lot of girls want to do it because there's a lot of girls that get like
yeah.
fake like spam
No,
accounts
that's-
made
Yep.
for them to
Like, that
sell
makes total
OnlyFans
sense.
and
That,
shit
Yeah,
like
that
that.
would
That
that would
makes
make
total
sense for
sense.
girls
Makes
to
sense
do
for
it. I'd
girls to
say,
do it
and
like
it
that.
makes sense for freelancers and investment or financial advisors type people.
People that have fake
Like,
accounts.
Yeah,
after
like there's this
like
dude
real
Devin
business
Boeing. He talks about crypto investing. He be having fake accounts made about him.
Chris
so,
Johnson,
Yeah,
another one.
so he had bought the check mark, but
Hundreds.
Chris Johnson got verified. I
Oh,
think.
there's another.
Oh, he-
Chris-
oh,
there's
that's
a real
right,
Chris
that's right.
Johnson out there.
Yeah.
But he be having
And
different
then like
pages and shit.
Anthony Williams, he got like hella fake pages made after him. He ain't buy the verification.
See, but the only thing that sucks, that
you
is
should.
scary about the verification though too, is it can now make a lot of people look credible. Like I could, like let's say
Yeah,
I
if you
could,
really
I could
are a
buy,
good
I could make an
finesser.
Instagram page, upload a lot of like cool photos that makes me look up and rich, post a lot of screenshots of like trade with me, buy my service, like you get to learn X, Y, and Z,
You
and I
can.
have a check. oh, this guy's a real person. He's a verified business. I could give him my
Yeah.
money. But in reality, all you got to
Definitely.
do is just match your ID, your driver's license with what you're saying you are online.
Yeah, but
100%.
the only
Yeah.
L with that is now you scamming people and they know your real name.
And they know your
Yeah,
real
and it's,
name.
it's
Yeah,
connected
so-
to you.
so that
Sick,
wouldn't
Get a
work.
fake
though.
That
fake
wouldn't-
ID.
I mean,
that wouldn't go too
Beep,
far.
beep, beep,
Yeah,
they-
'cause I mean,
but
because
Fake
like,
ID.
it's right on
technically,
that
like if you're
account.
Fake
scamming
ID.
people on an account and you have your reel connected to it in general, they'll be able to find it. But if
Mhm.
it's like out to the public and you're
It's
scamming
interesting.
people, then people can find you.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
I don't think it's open for businesses yet to like buy the verification, because like since you're verifying you're a certain human, like I don't know if they would like be like, oh yeah, this is the real Waterwave TV account. Do I gotta send them our filing, like our LLC filing paperwork, or like a photo of like our store, or like you know what I mean? Like, what do I have? What would you have to? I wonder how they would do that for businesses. Like
you
I
look at
haven't even
EIN
tried
or
to do it
something.
for like the Waterwave page, but.
I don't even know.
I don't know. Another thing too is like for artists, if like your main reason of doing it is to look more official, like it was just crazy to me to see how many people hopped on the verification check wave as soon as it launched. Like give yourself an extra like 3-6 months and
Just
like
to
like, let
see
it
what's going
just to
on.
see maybe like what what the impacts are on buying it. Maybe there's gonna be more like because you're paying monthly, so it's not like you're just buying it. It's like I have it forever.
I
But,
honestly
but-
didn't see hella.
See like
But the problem
Oh, I've
is though
seen a
too
lot.
is
Yeah, I seen a decent
do you
amount.
think though that people are just like, I don't want to be late to the next wave of whatever's going on social media, because I feel like that's just happened time and time again, like 2020 with TikTok, or like the time period when there was Vine, like that you could become famous, or like when people weren't podcasting on YouTube and you could really just blow your shit up because there wasn't a lot of podcasts out there. Like I feel like there's a potential time period, and there's going to be a potential few amount of people who do pay for this verification where they might be able to figure something out in the algorithm that might make it pay off.
yeah. I
I
think
don't
there's
know.
some algorithm benefits to it.
Yeah.
Like I know at least maybe they haven't fully developed all the benefits for him yet, but I remember when I clicked on it to get more information or Googled about it before I made our news post about it, it said like you get quicker connection to like customer support, like, but it's like I've never once contacted Instagram customer support once. So like I don't like in the
Yeah, so they
fucking
would-
10 years I've been on Instagram, 12 years I've been on whatever it is, like
yeah.
so it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be some benefit where like if you don't have a check, you won't be on people's explore pages or something. You know what I mean? Like you won't like, or like 'cause on Twitter, don't you like Twitter, your replies get hidden behind the people that have checks, don't they? Like isn't that a thing? Like
Yeah.
like
I
if
think
if
They
you're like
push
replying to
people
someone's tweet, like if there's like 20, if there's 50 replies and 30 of them have that verification check, they're gonna show their first 30 replies first.
Yeah.
So I think I seen that with some of the comment sections where like a more of like the blue checks would pop up,
Yeah.
like when you're scrolling past.
And I
just,
know-
like, down the page.
And I know
you
that was a thing on Instagram too for a while. Like
Yeah.
if you're a verified account, normally your stuff pops up
Mhm.
on other people's stuff on Instagram, like in the comment sections and stuff. Like more
Yeah.
of the verified
And there's
accounts
even-
that comment on our posts, they'll show up on top.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, potentially Instagram could go through that same thing of, yeah, these people are verified real account users. So
Like,
here we go.
here's
We're gonna
what they
push
gotta say
their
first.
we're gonna push what they have to say up top.
I think
first.
there's a
They
way
paid 15.
there's some filters for people that were verified, I believe, at least on Twitter, that you can set your notifications for to only see other verified users' notifications.
Mhm.
Like like if you wanted to like not get notified or not see DMs from random people or whatever, there would be like, you know, like the general, the private, and then like the verified. So people that are like other prominent figures is what it used to be, would have the verification check. You would actually get their DMs and be able to read their DMs and respond to their DMs. It would be in a separate filter
Yeah.
rather than, you know, everybody's. But now I know it's
To
like
not your
if you're
fans.
buying this, does that count as like you're now like a prominent figure? You know, but like that's not the point of them dropping these checks.
But
like
does
then-
it grant you that access?
Yeah,
though,
I
kinda
wonder
thing?
if that like bypasses that window.
In reality, I think they lost $1 billion this quarter. They're trying to recoup some bread.
They made
and
they made what, it was it 44 million off the
I'm not
first
even
first
sure.
week. of people buying checks,
Yeah.
or was it
I'm not
44
even
million
sure.
people? Oh no, they made 600. Was it
I think it was
60 660 million off 44 million
Yeah, 'cause
users?
I heard like
Yeah.
it was over half a
Yeah,
billion.
it was $660 million off the first week of that shit.
Just recouped liquid 666.
You basically just got 44
It's a
million
crazy
people
number,
to just
too.
pay you a
What the fuck?
monthly fee. And it's crazy. It's gonna be funny to see people get their checks repoed, like just by not paying their monthly fee.
Yeah, bro.
I said they're like,
'cause
man, fuck
that's-
this shit. And then
That's
whole
the
time that shit
thing.
just
That's
gets
the
taken
thing
out.
for me,
Like, oh,
bro.
you got
So
unverified.
random.
You ain't,
That's
you,
the-
you ain't a
I ain't
rapper
tryna
no
pay
more.
you.
Like now you already pay for the look and you
That
can't afford
shit
the
is
look.
sick,
Like,
bro.
bruh,
That's
you
the
finna-
thing to me, especially after this first month. I need to see how many of that 44 mil ain't coming back for month 2 because this is sickening. Y'all, some of y'all
Even in
gave up
even in
y'all
like
Netflix.
even in like 3
Some
months.
of y'all gave up your Netflix
Yeah.
subscription, your Hulu subscription, your Spotify.
You gave up
so
the
you
Apple
could
Pay?
look cool.
Oh,
This
no.
is crazy.
You can look official. Oh,
This is
hell
crazy,
no.
bro. I
15
need to see which one
It's
of you
crazy.
niggas
They finally found a way.
rationalized.
They finally found a way to make us like not make us,
Yeah.
but like incentivize us to pay for social media. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like social media's always been free, but now there's like
Mm,
incentives to paying for social media.
Yeah, I
Pay to
mean,
play.
I
Pay
feel
to
like
win.
too. Whenever they introduced that
Crazy.
one, there was was it the Wi-Fi? No, it was called like the something where they were trying to. There was like a law that was trying to be passed like a while ago, where they were trying to basically make us pay for like internet.
Pay for like internet basically certain blocking of internet. Like you'd have to pay to keep going.
Yeah,
Like, type of thing. Remember that was like
yeah.
when we were in high school. Was that college?
Yeah, that was like I think high school or like beginning of college, and it was like it's just crazy because I feel like a lot of the politicians were saying that the companies were gonna develop into doing that anyway, so like they might as well do it. But then it was like, yeah, everything started becoming subscription based and all this stuff, and it's like I feel like at one point like we're gonna kind of get tired of all the subscriptions as a society.
masses.
Yeah, as a society, and then we're gonna just go back to being like, fuck it, bro. I'm gonna just pay DirecTV to one flat rate and get everything, again,
Honestly,
get all
bro,
the channels and
honestly,
everything
bro.
back, cause that shit just be crazy sometimes. Like it kind of gets too
Bruh.
much.
Got 80 subscriptions
Oh,
for no
yeah,
reason.
bro.
There's
I'll
so
never
Now you
forget, I
download
forgot-
apps paying monthly just for that, just to make sure that you can keep track of all your
All the
subscriptions. Like
episodes,
this
yeah,
shit
literally
crazy.
got an app to
Literally.
keep track of all the subscriptions.
Oh,
and shit.
Bro,
man.
literally,
This
bro.
shit's
And then you
fuck.
paying them too.
Rocket Money sponsors.
Oh man.
Nutty.
Somebody sponsor us. We ain't gonna. We'll stop talking down on that end.
That's
But-
what we will
need
start
a
talking up.
sponsor by Square Cash. Or
Yeah,
something.
shout out Northern Chill. They're the ones that have been holding it down for like 3
Hold
years
it
now.
down.
The realest
Holding it
sponsor
down.
of
all
Best
the way.
water ever. And another news and sports news, the NCAA women's championship game made the most noise. Made more noise than the men's game, which is like a new thing. I don't know like how many eyes were watching it, but just press and news that have been around it. But it's been for the wrong reasons. Fucking hating. The world's
There was a
hating.
lot of hate.
Who's hating?
There was
The
a lot of
world's got
hate
a lot of
going
hate
on.
in the air. I seen a post on Instagram. It was like LSU winning the championship brought back segregation. Like it was like that's how bad someone felt.
Ah,
Huh.
it's just
Huh.
crazy,
Whoa.
bro.
Like,
That
that's
shit's
like- it
so
was like-
crazy.
people was talking like that about it.
Because there's obviously racist people choosing sides to who to be friends
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
So for all you listeners that
Yeah.
don't know what happened, LSU beat Iowa in the championship, and then Angel Reese, right?
Yep.
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese from LSU.
Did a little "You Can't See Me" John Cena, pointed at her little ring finger, whatever.
'Cause she
Towards
just won.
Caitlin
She just
Clark
got a
because they
ring.
just won.
Yeah,
Because they just won.
Like an athlete. Like
Um,
if anyone who's been an athlete, you know what it's like to win something.
Yeah, and so
Like,
you know,
what?
talk basically a little trash talk, a little gestures, whatever. It usually doesn't get talked about, and then it became this huge thing of like super classless, no class, blah blah. Like you should be ashamed of yourself.
So
like you
bogus.
can't.
Like
No.
non-sports.
Yeah, and there was a lot of people in the sports world, like in the media world, in the politic world, that were speaking out and like calling her classless, and I'm sure there was probably a lot of other worse
Yep.
words being
And
said.
don't forget,
Yeah.
LSU's full team was black. The full Iowa team was white. Midwest, Southern, Little clash.
Yeah,
So
and
you
what's
know the
crazy is I feel like a lot
You
of
know
people
the
didn't even
vibes.
like didn't even know anything about the situation before just obviously stating their opinions on basically being racist off of just saying you're classless or this piece of shit. You know, like
Yeah.
shit like that. If you're just like quoting ESPN's tweet on that, like and saying that, then you're racist. There's no way
Yeah.
around it. Like there's just no other way. Because if Caitlin Clark did that 2 days before the game before in the Final Four, she did the "you can't see me" to the other team,
Yeah,
and
nothing
nobody
happy.
said anything.
Nobody said shit.
Nobody
Yeah.
said a single thing.
I'm just not a huge fan of the favoritism, bro. That should kind of just be kind of crazy because it's just like at the end of the day, like these girls, they both all grinded. Like I can't lie, Caitlyn grinded, bro. She dropped 30 ball on LSU, like
That's
it was
crazy.
nothing. She was hitting from Steph Curry range, going crazy. But it's like, why do you like? Why for Caitlyn aspect? She ain't have to go on there and start crying after the game, making it seem like, oh, boo
She
hoo,
was playing
that was
victim
kind
for
of
sure.
hurting me, and like also to the understanding of other fans. Like I get it. I get how you can see a group of young black women who are a little bit more out there, a little bit have more character than some other people, and you may think of them as being a nuisance or something, but how have you not seen a lot of black people in your life ever? Like have you never seen sports where
Bro,
a lot of
literally.
black people are dominating for the most part, like football, basketball, and
In a
just seeing
competitive
celebrations,
environment, yo,
yeah,
like, bro,
seeing how
have
other
you seen
people
the
act.
NFL, bro?
Like
Like,
that's
the
just what I'm
dances and
acting,
shit?
and
Like,
and
oh
it's
my
like
God.
I get it. Like I just don't think that it's very equality like of us as human beings to be so critical on especially the women, especially because bro, the sport is getting bigger and better, and now y'all are putting a negative light onto it.
Yeah,
you know,
negative
like
twist on
like
that shit.
yeah, like they
Yeah.
had a lot more coverage than the men's game this year, and y'all trying to put a weird spin to the whole end, and it's like I don't like that. I just don't like seeing like the agendas getting played. But if that's how y'all are trying to make the sport bigger and better, I guess maybe
guess.
I'll back off. But
I mean, that's
shit,
I guess, yeah, that's how they typically do shit like that. Cause then next thing you know, they get like all these little brand sponsorships and shit based on like segregation and social injustice and shit. Like
yeah,
that's literally how they make business maneuvers. Off
yeah.
shit like
So
that.
I
You're
kind of
right.
get that. I kind of get where all that's gonna come from, and then but then I feel like too they trying to just kind of want to make the girls of LSU look a little bit dumber too after all of this. Like with the whole I just seen the Jill Biden thing going crazy, and then they talking
that's
about
right.
oh, we're gonna go to the Obamas or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's just like bro, like I get a little bit of secondhand embarrassment because
Yeah,
I
'cause
feel
it's
like
what
that's
are
what
you
they
even
wanted you to
doing?
do.
Yeah,
That's
what
what
are
they
you
wanted
even
you to
doing?
do
To play
right
into
there
that
is
type of
play
shit.
into that shit,
Yeah.
and then
Because
literally
it's like you picking a side, but those two sides are on the same side.
yeah.
Like you saying, "Oh, fuck the Bidens."
But you're doing black and white.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
see now
you're
you're
doing-
doing
you're
it.
doing
So
black
it's
and
like,
white, but you're
literally
still playing
Yeah.
blue.
furthering the division,
yeah,
bro.
and I
bro.
just
Dumb.
wasn't fuck.
Separate
I
and
just
conquer,
don't fuck
bro.
with that narrative, like that news narrative altogether. I don't fuck with that.
Yeah,
I just
bro.
wish we could just be happy. It could be like a Kobe moment. Angel Reese could have just had her little Kobe moment. She just went Mamba, it's whatever. And Caitlyn lost. She was just a very good player who lost. We've seen that happen all the time.
Literally.
So it's like,
and like, if there's
I
gonna
just-
be any drama, let's not have it be racially driven.
Yeah,
yo.
racially.
Like there is no reason that
It's just like,
conversation need to
bro,
be.
why
Like,
did they have to get to
like,
this?
It didn't have
But,
to be at that point.
yeah.
But the society loves to bring it to that point.
Yeah,
That's some
and,
crazy shit.
And I guess at least we in America too, where these conversations can be had. So
True.
it's like I'm not totally against it being had, and it's also good because then it gives the dialogue on how stupid this is too.
100%,
Because now you're giving
100%.
people the ability to be like, "Yo, this is dumb as fuck. We knew that this was gonna happen. Everybody know how America is," and then other people around the world are gonna hear that and they're gonna be like, "Damn, like other people in America just seeing this shit, like it, like." You know what I'm saying? It should
trickles.
just be, it trickles. It should just trickle. And I guess it's fine. And that's what freedom of speech is. But you just hate to see it. That's what I feel like. You just hate
sure.
You
to
hate
see
to
it.
see freedom of speech used in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then it's like it separates the players even from a competitive
Yeah.
aspect.
Bro,
Because
literally.
it's like we could have been cool, and obviously half the players on the other team are probably gonna go to the WNBA as well,
Literally. What if
and
they on the
they could be
same
teammates.
team?
They
That's what I'm saying.
very well may be, and they'll be
Literally.
like, "Oh, y'all remember they was throwing shade and racism at us?"
Yeah.
And they gonna laugh
and
about
now you
it.
gonna be labeling people
Yeah.
racist on your
Yeah.
team,
Yeah.
and
Like
then
all
it's just
types of
like,
crazy shit can
like,
happen.
Shit weird.
it could have been the quietest girl
Shit
on
weird.
Iowa, and now she just
And
stuck.
now
Like, goddamn.
motherfuckers-
This
Yeah.
crazy shit.
weird.
Narratives getting painted in the media and everything now.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, now she got drafted to this team with this girl. Oh shit.
Yeah, and then especially too when you use two players is like the source of like
Yeah, like
where,
the face
how
cards.
everyone's feeling, you
Yeah.
know, and
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like,
like no, like
It's like,
don't
bro,
don't put
yeah.
us in the beef as the
Yeah,
face of
yeah.
the beef.
because I just
Like,
I
I say,
definitely do feel
Y'all on the
even more
bench, shit.
bad for all the other players on both teams
Mm-hmm.
that have to kind of deal with the backlash without getting a say.
Because
in
I
the
mean, they
media.
can go back
Yeah.
home to their school and still get looked at another way by the other
Exactly.
race just because they like, oh, you was on the basketball team, we ain't fucking with her.
Oh, bro, you
Well,
you wasn't
shit.
even on the court. You still had your warm up suit on the
They
bench,
still
and they
think
still
you
on trash
racist.
with
I
you.
mean,
She
like-
was on the squad.
I mean, shit. Like,
Like,
I don't.
bro.
I mean, I've heard a lot of stories about frats and shit in the South. So like,
oh my god,
it's just like I don't know. You never even know what position you put in them girls in on that basketball team. In you know, like when they have to go back to the South for people who really care about that shit. You
Bro,
know, like
literally,
because
bro,
it's like
literally.
luckily they succeeding, so the city gonna love them. But what happens when if they start losing next year, and everybody gonna remember that shit
They're
from
like, oh
last
shit,
year?
now we mad.
Oh man.
What's kind of another crazy thing about that is like there was a video that came out, like it was posted, but it wasn't as big of a deal until after. But like Angel Reese seen Caitlyn at the venue or wherever they were at before like the tournament play started or something, and like she was like, "You raw, I'm so happy that I got to meet you finally," because Caitlyn's like the biggest deal in women's basketball, like
Yeah.
college basketball right now.
Yeah.
So like she was like giving Caitlyn her flowers and stuff before. So like there was literally no bad blood in the air like at all. She just literally just
course.
did the same celebration she did the game before to like mock her, like, oh, you thought like you was hot shit. Well,
Bro,
now we the hot shit.
in the
Like it's
heat of,
literally
in
it was
the heat of the moment when she came up on one of the coldest players ever,
Yeah.
she felt like
and it
she
wasn't
was
even.
hate. She
it's
was
not
her.
like she like if
Yeah.
she would have
Yeah.
like
She
cussed
went
in her
like,
face
blah,
like
blah.
you
Yeah.
fucking suck, blah blah
I mean,
blah.
Bro,
Dude, like if she
like,
like
any
that's like
person in that
there was
situation
no
would do
no
that.
fight
Yeah.
or nothing.
She
Like,
literally
anybody
just
would-
did the most simple thing, just mocking what she did the game before. Like it's not even like it was her original diss.
No.
Literally,
Like she
bro,
literally,
literally.
just copied what she
Yeah.
did. She got the
Literally.
fault for it.
It's
Literally,
just-
bro,
It's,
like-
it's a lot of narratives. Bro,
There's gonna be
that
someone.
are
There
just
was probably
spun.
some grandma Jane out there,
Just-
some old white that was probably
Just
like,
hurt as hell.
well, if your friend would jump off a bridge, would you do it too?
Like,
You know, like
literally.
trying to make that
Oh,
narrative.
trying to
Yeah.
make anything,
Trying to
trying to
just
make
do
anything
anything.
sound crazy.
Cena and my granddaughter.
And I know, like, I know it hurt. I know it hurt though.
What's up with the Iowa fan
It's
base being crazy though? The wrestler mom was Iowa
Bro,
too.
yeah,
She was
I mean-
folding her glasses when her son lost. Remember that?
Oh,
Breaking
yeah,
her
she-
glasses.
Bro,
That was
broke
I
Iowa.
think
bitches
the
in
thing
half.
is
What
I
was
think
that?
I
That
think
was funny.
Iowa college sports is huge. Like
because they don't have a pro team.
Yeah, they don't have pro
Oh, that's
teams. So
right.
Iowa college
any
sports is
sports.
pretty big. Like
Yeah,
so
when it
like
comes to
that's what
college type shit,
just
yeah.
when it comes to college, so that people be pulling out to that shit. Like I know there's a
imagine.
few
That's
other
fair.
states that kind of be like that too. I think like Arkansas and like
Oh, I
some
could-
other
yeah.
states, but like they just are huge
North
college
Dakota, South
sports.
Dakota.
Yeah.
Mhm.
College sports, they'll
NDSU,
they'll fill them
SDSU, those are big
stadiums.
deals,
They'll
yeah.
fill
Oh, yeah,
them
that's right, that's
stadiums
right.
too, bro. But it'd be
Minnesota.
crazy. Yeah. I feel like we
Beyonce.
have a decently
Yeah, we
spread
have
out
pro
schools
teams.
and shit too.
We just have
And we
good
got pro
hockey
teams.
is just really big for us because we have like
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
D1 hockey teams
Yeah.
here. Like
That's
how
Yeah, I
like
mean, we
how,
can play
like, some
hockey
states.
all the time here.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're just
you
up.
actually can.
There's like
Except
a
I play
rink
hockey, you're up.
everywhere.
Hockey and basketball.
You
That's why
know,
those
like-
two are our best sports. Like for like recruits is hockey and basketball because those
Like,
are the two that you play indoors, and you could
You
play hockey
compare
outdoors.
us against
and,
like
well,
Arkansas, you know what I'm saying? Like I bet they ain't getting outside like we can, you know what I'm saying? We got
No.
6 months of when you can hop out and play with your
Yep.
friends and shit.
Oh, man.
well, I hope, and yeah, and all those girls have been on a bunch of interview platforms speaking their voice, and you know it was crazy because Caitlyn like was playing that victim card in the press conference right away,
Mhm.
and then she got on like ESPN and was like, you know, I don't think she should be cut any slack. It's just sportsmanship. So she kind of like like basically said like quit giving her slack
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
it because I don't feel any type
Kind
of
of
way. We've talked
rerouted
about
Yeah.
it.
after the
Yeah, giving a
emotions
shit
ain't
type shit.
flaring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, like she was just getting driven after the game by her phone being blown up, seeing all this shit, obviously. But you gotta form your own opinion on the shit.
And two,
I
I
swear.
feel like when you hear so many media people pitying on you, you kind of like
You're
right
like,
after
hold
the
on,
game,
hold on.
you might have fallen into it a little bit. You was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, I'm sad, so yeah, I'm gonna just act even more sad with
I
all
feel
your
that. I
questions."
feel that.
But
Some
then
ecstasy.
you kind of realize once you get a day, and then you go to ESPN, you like,
Like,
what
damn,
was
they
I
bashing
doing?
the fuck out of Shorty for just winning,
On
basically.
me,
I swear.
what was I doing?
There was a whole team in
Another
in
sports
play too. Like,
news,
goddamn.
fucking WWE got bought out
Oh yeah,
by
That's right. But
by the
Zuffa?
by
The company that bought
founders
UFC.
of UFC.
well,
It's-
no, there's a company that bought UFC. That
Yeah,
same
yeah.
company,
Endeavor.
That same company
Yeah.
bought WWE.
yeah, for 93
Crazy.
billion.
No, 9.
Or
9.3
9.3 bill. Yeah. That's still fat
Still,
payout.
dude, that is
And I
that's
think-
an
doesn't it-
unbelievable.
I think
amount
they
of
said
money.
he started the company with like
He bought-
30 mil or
He
300
bought
mil.
the
or
guy
something.
that what's that dude's name that bought
Vince
it?
McMahon.
So I was listening to this on, I believe it was a Pat McAfee show. I just watched their like 10-minute breakdown of it.
Mhm.
But I think he bought it for $1 million back in the 80s, and now
Yeah.
it's sold for 9.3. I don't know if he
Ew.
completely sold every share he had.
No, he still owns
So,
majority
but the
shares.
full-on value of the transaction was $9.3 billion, which means there probably wasn't $9.3 billion sent places.
Yeah.
But like the value of it was 9.3 billion, and let's say they bought 80% and they kept 20%. So like their 20% and all the shareholders that kept that is technically worth X, 20% of 9.3 billion. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay,
If they
okay,
didn't
okay.
actually get paid out for their shares,
Yes.
I believe that was the full. Like so, basically WWE is like 9.3 billion of
51,
the
so
of
they're the
WWE.
majority.
So 49, right?
Ah.
Or
So
is
of
or is
this
it the
new business, whatever this. So it's technically like they both merged.
So some
know,
UFC
so they
shareholders kept their
merged.
ownership, some WWE
Yeah.
shareholders
It
kept
was
their ownership,
51,
and there's like a full
49.
overall merge that Endeavor owns 51%
Yeah.
of both, and then the
And then
whoever owns
WWE
the
is
UFC,
on
whoever owns-
49% of both,
Interesting.
technically.
See it
So-
to a free market for
Yeah.
any of those
And which I
promotions,
think
any
Vince
other
McMahon is
promotions.
the
God.
majority,
Yeah, he's the
Full
majority holder
shareholder,
for
yeah.
WWE.
If someone wanted to buy Waterway for $1 billion right now,
Vince
that'd be-
McMahon is fucking up right now. And the only reason he literally sold it is because he
Oh,
went
yeah.
through like a bunch
would
of
be fire.
allegations of just talking loose
Take
to
that bill, start
employees
water
and shit.
wave.
Oh, but
There's no TV.
Vince.
just
I'm not
water
doing
wave.
shit.
Yeah, he was talking crazy to the
Instead of
WWE
that-
divas. Had to sell the
Sheesh.
company before he got too much slack.
Yeah, no, that WWE shit though, that shit is actually crazy, bro. Cause it's like you really watched that shit from when you was a kid, bro, and then now you just seen that like that
Yeah.
development,
There wa-
how
there
much
was-
they became.
There was a bunch of viral
Yeah.
moments, like after his allegations came out about him talking crazy with the divas, and they were just pulling up like the
Ooh.
Attitude Era scenes and moments, even
Mhm.
on TV, like of
Yeah.
Vince just being a hornball or acting loose, like type of
Ooh,
shit.
That
Yeah.
nigga was probably
Or-
acting like a strip club.
Yeah, just
owner.
acting crazy. Cause I mean,
Ugh.
like back in the WWE, like that late '90s, or even when we was growing up watching it, like when Ed, the Legend Killer moments, and Edge and Lita sleeping
Yeah.
together in the ring, having
Oh,
affairs
oh,
with Matt
hell no.
Hardy, all of that shit was real life, and they just acted it out on TV. So it was just kind of
Yeah,
loose.
that shit loose body.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't. One thing that I don't know if I could ever forgive this nigga Vince for was adding niggas like widowed wives into the shows and shit, bro.
Bro, the Eddie Guerrero and Edge.
That was just
That was the most
so
foulest
fucked
shit.
up.
That
means you
Oh,
got, like,
I
a
hated
divorce.
Edge was
that
my
shit.
favorite wrestler.
No,
Widow
like-
is like
No, a
you
widow.
died,
Her
you
husband.
died, and then
You know
they
that
got
shirt?
your wife on the show.
Eddie Guerrero. That shirt
Oh,
is
so
crazy.
widowed means your husband
Yeah,
dies.
your
You're a
husband-
solo single
Yeah.
wife
Yeah.
Because they
you're a widow.
died.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Because I knew it was some type of
Bro,
separation.
it was
Bro.
Eddie Guerrero's wife was on TV just kissing and marrying another man like
That was-
literally,
that was
literally
enemies
like
with us.
2 weeks, maybe a month after this nigga passed, and it was like crazy to see.
Yeah,
It was
bro,
so
that
crazy.
shit
to
was
see.
That happened. When was that? Like
fucked up.
2000, like 8,
Maybe
7?
like
2007.
Yeah, I say
Probably
like
had to be.
'Cause I think the shirt
That's when
says
they didn't give a
2006.
shit.
Yeah,
like,
bro,
Yeah.
that shit was
Like I can
fucked.
imagine that shit happening nowadays.
Yeah,
Bro.
nowadays
I
that
was
shit would
like,
be
ain't no way.
Some
And
of the
Edge was
stuff
my
they
favorite
pull up-
wrestler, and I was like, after this, I almost can't rock with you,
Oh,
bro.
me.
You
How could you?
crazy.
How
How could you do my nigga Eddie like this? And
For
she
the
wasn't even
bands?
bad.
For the
she was the
bands.
most ratchet like wife ever type
Yeah,
anyway.
no, she was nasty.
Ratchet
She was nasty. Her voice was gross. She used to be.
Excuse me.
She used to just have this nasty high
Must be the
pitched
reason why he
like
died earlier.
nasally
Bro,
voice,
I'ma
bro.
believe my nigga was
On me,
popping
that
perks
nigga
and
OD, bro. Oh my
Fucking
god.
around with her
Yeah,
ass.
he was stressed out.
And it's
Sure.
just
Nigga
like, bro,
Eddie.
you really hop back on that. Oh my god, yeah. No, for real.
After
no.
that, he
shout
I
out
think,
Rodney.
I think he got an
Vicky was a
injury
bust
fucking
down
with
for
her
real.
the whole time. Edge had to retire for like a few years, like 4 years after dating her ass.
Yeah,
Bad
no,
karma.
that nigga needed to.
Hey,
He needed to go and cleanse off the WWE for a
That
little
nigga
bit.
soul got
He needed to
snatched from-
rewrite. They needed to rewrite his story. He couldn't do that no more. That
Nigga
nigga was
got
like, bro,
injured
I
in
can't
real
keep
life.
kissing and hugging on this shit.
He said, "I'm about to leave. If
Oh,
you got me on this."
He said, bro, this is the worst bit ever on me. But nah, for
That would
real.
be
Disgusting.
tragic.
Yeah, there was definitely no limits to Vince McMahon shit. So I could see him doing anything. There's honestly like even when I seen Dana beating on his wife in the club, I was like,
Oh,
bro,
damn, I ain't
that
see that.
shit
That
was
shit was
crazy.
fucked.
that shit
Bro,
got blown
that
by
shit
quick.
was
I think he did like a slight
He
apology.
wealthy as hell,
Dana
that's why.
is so
Yeah,
cold with
Dana's
that media
billionaire,
shit.
man.
Yeah.
They
He
was
is
not
yeah.
playing.
Because we talked
They was
about that
not
like
playing on
like
that
last
shit.
month on here, didn't we?
This is a while ago.
Maybe it
I
was.
think it was a
maybe
while ago.
on
It was
the
like
morning show.
January
Maybe I
or
talked about it on the
December.
morning show
Yeah, it
with
was
Wayne.
like almost
Yeah.
last year. I feel like.
Yeah, but that
it was
shit
like-
was
yeah.
fucked, bro.
Oh, it got blown over very quickly though.
Very quickly.
They
Very
slapped
quickly.
A,
They had
slapped
the
a
whole
nice
story
card
together.
and it was shoom.
Yep, they had the whole story together,
Fuck.
ready to
So
stop
is
that
Dana
shit.
still like a part owner then of UFC now that
Oh,
they sold, or because like, or is he now just
yeah.
an employee?
He was
for
the
UFC?
president.
Yeah,
He's
so
the
when the
president.
He wasn't the
Loofahs,
owner.
he was
But
a
he
part
probably had some
owner when the
percentage.
Like
Loofahs had
5% or
it.
something
Yeah.
When the
like that.
Loofahs had it,
a
he
small
was a part
percent.
owner because he went into like buying the UFC with them and shit.
Mhm.
But then like when the Zufas, not
Yeah, the
Loofahs,
Zufas,
I
the
said
Zufas.
Loofahs.
Me and my
When the
nigga.
Zufas, when the Zufas sold it though, Dana became just like the president, like full time under like a contract.
Mm.
Kind of like we're not gonna sign over the company unless you let Dana stay and be president and still run the operation. And then like
Yeah,
he probably
got
just got a fat, stupid, crazy salary.
millions
Yeah,
a
just
year,
like just
more
a
than
dummy
any
deal.
fighter than
Yeah.
I could ever dream
Just
of making.
a dummy ass deal. He's
He
probably getting
basically like
percentages off of
Fatty-itis.
like
Nigga
merch
just got all
and
his
other shit.
gladiators. He
Yeah.
just run the house.
But literally,
but
bro,
he don't.
literally.
But like, I feel like the UFC
Literally.
is kind of like you can't really run the UFC right now, at least without Dana. Like even without
Oh.
Bruce Buffer, the UFC is
Dude.
almost
The
like
announcer.
kind
It'll
of
be
cooked.
getting-
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
He go crazy.
Yeah,
bro. I
like-
can't imagine. I literally was.
They
I
bought that
always be
nigga
saying
out
this.
from
They could
the,
find
when,
the
he's died, when those two
boxing
are gone,
league.
I'm gonna be so
That's
sad.
That's when you know they had the
They'll be able to
bag.
find a guy
True.
that can do like a very, very similar thing.
Yeah.
It's
but
usually
not,
like
but
his
for,
son.
but for people that are like nostalgic UFC fans, it's not
Yeah.
gonna
It's
be the
not gonna be
same.
the same.
It's always gonna be a
Yeah.
buffer.
And especially, bro, like
I mean, it's just
the
like when like John Madden died. Now he can't announce football games anymore. You
Yeah.
know, like
damn.
I
and we
mean,
got
people-
Michael Strahan, nigga.
you don't even do that. You don't even do
Good
that.
morning, America,
Oh,
with
me,
Michael
Lil.
Yeah,
Strahan.
Good morning,
Gap
America.
tooth lope. No, what?
And now we got Tony Romo.
Oh, Tony
Yeah.
Romo,
Romo.
actually.
And
wow.
like fucking
That's
and all the other
Peyton
guys.
and
There's a
Eli.
Yeah, Peyton and Eli. All these new school.
I'll take
That
Peyton.
should
I'll
be
take
crazy.
Tom
Peyton.
Brady's gonna
Not
supposed to be doing
Eli,
it next season.
Close
But
enough to a man.
so we get too far off topic and start
sure.
rambling on too much. There's another topic I wanted to talk about. I want to read it off for y'all. It's kind of cool. The Minneapolis City Council has approved a plan for reforming the city's police department. Here is what is
About time.
included. I'm just going to read the post and then go through everything. The Minneapolis City Council unanimously approved a sweeping plan to reform policing that aims to reverse years of systematic racial bias. The 11-0 vote means that the public can now read the 144-page settlement agreement between the city and the Minnesota Department of Human Rights, which charged the city with a pattern of discrimination in the wake of the 2020 murder of George Floyd, a white Minneapolis police officer by a white Minneapolis police officer.
Mm.
So here's some of the big points of this is stops and searches. Officers will no longer be allowed to pull over a driver solely for low-level offenses like a broken taillight or not displaying tabs. Officers can't frisk people for weapons during a stop without reasonable suspicion. The smell of marijuana won't be enough to justify a stop and frisk or a car search anymore.
Mm.
So if you don't got any
God.
weed in your car or a joint or any paraphernalia visible, then they can't look at your whip because they think there's weed in there. Use of force. There's some new rules on use of force. Rank and file officers have to use the lowest level of force needed to ensure their safety, stop an attack, make an arrest, or prevent escape. Supervisors must immediately respond to the scene when a subordinate officer uses force that causes an injury so they can identify witness, collect evidence, and ensure medical care is provided. Monthly reports will include incidents in which officers' use of force was found to violate city policy and times when an officer failed to properly de-escalate a situation. There's a lot more shit on here, but I think the big one that is obviously catching a lot of people's eyes is like the weed one of not being able to pull people, not being able to like search your car for the smell of weed. I know that was like one I seen people talking about a lot. The use of force should be a good one, and police accountability was a
That's
thing.
amazing.
New training
If they
ways.
actually do that, that's
How will the plan be enforced? The training says police will receive new training on how to respond to people showing signs of mental illness or severe agitation. A new training plan will instruct officers not to issue citations or arrest people for conduct that offends, annoys, or insults an officer. So they can't be like, oh, the way you're talking to me is
That's
annoying.
good because
Let me
they
arrest
never should take anything personal when you're doing a job. Like,
100%.
nigga, if you pull me over and I say fuck you,
This
then
one's interesting. Chemical.
you
just
can't
hit you-
arrest me because of
Yeah,
that.
if
This
you
is
hit
an
me with a
interesting
$250
one.
fine, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Chemical irritants would be banned for use in crowd control, except in rare scenarios when approved by the chief or designee. So basically, they can't throw tear
They can't
gas
just
at you
mace
or
you,
mace you or-
without calling the sheriff or somebody.
Yeah, like it being like a citywide thing, like a riot or some shit. They can't
That's
just
good.
throw tear gas into a crowd to like simmer the crowd.
Yeah, because they were definitely kind of abusing that shit before.
For sure.
Once that
Police
shit was-
accountability officers will have a duty to intervene if they see a fellow officer breaking the rules. If they don't, they could be disciplined. The City Department of Civil Rights will convey a review panel for misconduct allegations that will forward its findings to the police chief. Monthly public records published online will detail each time an officer used a stun gun, baton, chemical irritant, or chokehold, firearm, or if the officer strikes a person.
So they gonna be doing reports.
Mm-hmm.
So they doing reports. They're showing the community when they fucking up.
So it's gonna be
They
public
giving
knowledge
us-
to know when that police officer beats somebody.
I would
Yeah.
say one thing I wish that was on there was like, I forgot what it's called, but like basically taking like mental stability checks on cops too, like regular testing,
on
like
the cops, not on the people they're pulling over.
yes, because like the thing is, I feel
Double
like
check that I
Because
didn't
they
overlook
ass
it.
could be going
I
through
don't think I
some
read
shit
everything.
At the
any
crib.
point. Yeah,
like you never know, bro. And the
Looks
thing is, you
crazy
can't
cop just
have
come clock
Mm,
in,
you-
just
bro,
got done beating his
Clock
wife.
in just
like
angry.
bro just like you
drunk.
you don't want some shit where nigga came home seeing his wife was cheating or some crazy shit. Now he go to work, pull somebody over,
He
and now-
blasting.
yeah. Now he just now he loses his shit and kills a nigga or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
definitely see shit like
Dude,
that
think
at least
so.
in movies and shit, so it could be real.
I mean,
Oh,
bro. I
yeah.
mean, crazy shit happens every day, and people definitely lose their shit every day. And you put that shit, I don't know. It's a lot of power. Cops have a lot of power, so I feel like
Yeah.
something that should be at least some form of mental checks just to make sure they're all there.
Yeah,
Bro.
I'm happy we getting some kind of regulation to the good old smell. It smells like pot in here, or whatever thing. That shit was so old,
Yeah, that
so
shit was played.
so played out. Oh my fucking god! And it's just crazy because it's like, I swear to God, I'm just happy that that it's getting to be over with, because I feel like too many at this point rich motherfuckers kids got pulled over for that same
Bro, this
excuse,
shit was
and they
almost
like, nah,
fake.
nigga, I ain't doing this shit
It
no
felt
more. This
fake.
shit was fake. Nah, they made that shit and it was fake to get into niggas'
To get
cars.
in your car.
And then and then they realized that it was kind of fucked up because the cops was using that even against the rich kids. And then they like, yeah, bro, we gotta ban this shit. We gotta end this shit.
Yeah,
we
that's
gotta
for
end
sure,
this
though.
shit.
Our
That
kids
ain't
too?
it.
Oh,
Yeah, our
nah.
kids get fucked by this shit too. Nah,
I
fuck
feel
that.
that, though. They
It's
definitely-
been a
they
long
definitely
time
felt that.
coming, and I feel like there was way too many people, even white people, get fucked up over that shit to this point where they had to end that.
That's
They
the
was
only
like-
time
It was like, bro, I'm done, bro.
I got
I'm
my
done.
car
Hey, bro, all right, my nephew just got caught up, bro. We
On
changing
me.
this shit.
On me. Or imagine being like a lawyer, like a district attorney, you get pulled over for that shit. You like, oh yeah, bro. I'm doing whatever to end that shit, end that law, bro.
Say we get this
Finally.
passed.
my
bro.
car. Only time my car has ever been searched was because they said they smelled weed.
Literally.
They looked all through
Yeah.
my whip. Ain't find no weed.
Literally, bro.
Hey man, that's happened to me quite a few times.
It
and
just
they only
smelled
found
like
it
it.
once.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they
Well,
might
actually,
have.
no, I just gave it to him just because I was like, bro, I ain't
Well,
trying to deal with
I. They.
I was like, it
they
was a
didn't
little
even
amount. I was like,
find
I'll be
any.
all right if I give it to him.
Yeah. No. Literally, it was like I had like half. It was like not even a gram,
Oh.
like half a gram of weed.
My
and I was like,
headphones just
this
went
is.
out.
Well,
Your headphones?
And my
hear
mic.
you.
Can you hear me?
I can
I
hear
can
you.
hear
Okay, bet that's smooth. It don't matter though.
And like I was like,
Yeah.
because like I already knew it smelt in there because before they came, I was like, I was in my center console and I was like, shit, maybe I should just throw this in my pants. I open it up, and then my friends like in my passenger like, nah, we're good, bro, don't worry about it. And then I close it, and just me opening it and closing it
Just wafted that
wafted
shit out.
the whole smell into the car.
So then what you're
Crazy.
saying is they shouldn't have ended the law because the cop could smell well in your car.
No, I just don't think that's enough.
Screwball.
Well, the thing is, he came in and he's like, "You got any weed in here? It smells. I'm bringing the canine unit, regardless of what you tell me." And I was like, "Yeah."
Oh yeah, no, that's
And I
what he
showed
said
him
to
it.
me,
I was
too.
like, "It's right. That this is what it is. This is all I got." Like, don't. It was cold. It's winter. It's cold. It's winter. I don't got nothing to hide. This ain't even no. I'm not like I can't even go to jail over this. This ain't even no type of charge. This is like bad. But I was like, it's just this. Like you don't have to look through the rest of the car. But she guts my car. Just guts that, takes everything out, like under the seats, like everything. And she was just pissed that there was nothing else because she probably thought I was like a big dealer. I just left a college party. Like
Oh yeah,
She
I
probably
remember
thought I
that.
was the
I remember
supplier.
that
That's
night. It was
crazy.
after a party. We all just split up. My nigga
Stupid.
Rick
She
got
was trying to
busted.
come in,
Didn't you?
bro.
this was in
weren't you like?
Mankato.
Oh, it wasn't.
This was in
Didn't that-
Mankato.
She was
Didn't you
trying
get
to come up.
pulled over in RF before?
I did get pulled over in RF because of I forgot to turn my lights on. But that
Oh,
wasn't
it wasn't no
anything.
gas though.
Oh,
There was
bro.
yeah, there wasn't because of that. But
That's good.
and,
I got a couple stories, but I don't
Yeah.
even know if I should say them on here, so I'm probably not.
Ooh,
Bro.
if you- if
But
you think
regardless-
Like
that,
that, I
maybe
don't
not.
even
That
know if
girl-
they might have to.
the per-
They might
that-
come back for me like, oh, he got away. Oh no.
that
Double
officer
back
was
on
so
my ass.
mad. She gave me a ticket on the spot for the weed, and I went to like go pay it like a month later, and it was just like gone. Like it wasn't there, and I was like, all right, like, maybe this just hasn't came up yet. And then I got a letter in the mail like a month later saying it was like expunged or gotten rid
Oh,
of.
they expunge your shit.
Whatever it was, because it was
Wow,
literally
my shit's
it
probably
was
my
petty.
shit.
it was less than a gram of weed. She probably like because
Oh.
it's at some point to like give someone a ticket, it has to at least be like a gram or like 2 or 3. Like there's got to be some limit where they brought it back, and this shit probably even
Yeah,
probably-
she brought
she
that
probably
shit to
brought it back.
evidence to turn it in.
And they were like,
"Bro, what are
they
you
were
doing?"
like, did
really,
you just
bro?
find this in like in someone's fucking center console, like in the schmut, and you just pushed it together and threw it in a bag to like get them out? Like it was literally probably that much. Like it was not
Damn.
enough to do nothing.
That's
So like it was just like, so you just wasted all of our time because you were in your feelings, and then they were like, no, we're not giving this person a ticket for this shit. Like there's no way.
You're gonna search your car. We're gonna
I
get in
got
the
bumped for some
canines.
shit like that before, but we just gave them the roaches, and it was my homie's birthday, so they was just like, "Fuck it, go ahead,
Wow.
stay out of trouble."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, that shit happened to me. That shit, they pulled. I was at the spot. Pull out the spot. Cops is waiting right there. I was like, oh, this cooked. Walked up. They pulled
They was
me
watching,
over.
waiting for your ass.
Yeah, they was
were definitely
waiting,
scouting
bro.
my ass too. Literally left the quarters in Mankato, the little right across from College Town. They was as soon as I
Just
pulled
waiting
out
for
that
your
bitch,
ass.
they,
Stress out
They
there.
said, "We
drove-
know who be over
I
there."
took like 2
Oh,
left
bro,
turns.
they just be waiting
I
for
took
your
like 2
ass.
left turns, and then they got me with, oh, the light above your license plate wasn't on, so that's why we pulled you over. And then they rolled down the window, and then they say it smells like. That's literally what this law is stopping.
Shiesty-lo.
It's because so I couldn't have even gotten pulled over, and with this new law of that being a small reason, so like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not even a reason to pull you over.
Yeah.
Speaking of new laws, did
They
you
just
guys
got me off
see
that. They're
from
like, nigga, we know you
July?
be smoking, nigga. Where the weed at?
Speaking of new laws, did you see from July 1st, all Florida residents will be allowed to carry concealed firearms freely
I did.
without any need for a permit, license, or training.
Don't you need a permit
Hold
to purchase though?
on.
Still, I think you need a permit to buy the gun, but you don't need a permit to conceal and carry.
No. A lot of
'Cause some
southern
states have that same
a lot
law.
of the southern states, you can just walk in there with your ID and you can purchase a gun.
Dude,
Let me
if it's
see.
like
As
that,
long
I
as
seen
you're-
that,
And
but
I think
I also seen
as long as
people.
you're
I think
18.
18-year-olds can now conceal and carry in Minnesota now too.
Yeah,
Like
18-year-olds,
18 plus.
18 plus can now.
Damn.
18 plus, yeah.
Which is
Holy
crazy because it should be
conceal and carry
opposite. It should be almost.
Early as hell.
Because
They had
kids
that
are out
shit
here
young.
getting
I
guns.
seen
Yeah.
somebody. I seen Lil Shine
young as hell.
reposted that, happy about it.
Little happy
little
dick
young
ass.
ass nigga.
I mean, he
Oh
probably
my
already
God.
got his, but now he like, bet I can tote it.
He said now it's real.
I mean, for
I'm
real, what's the
legal,
point of
boy.
having your license if you can't carry that bitch for another 3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida doesn't require a permit to purchase a gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I know
you
some
you just
states,
need your ID.
some states you have to have a
Walk
permit
in
to
that
purchase
bitch,
it.
thugged out.
So you at least have to go through the classes and the training and stuff to purchase the gun, but you don't need a separate license to conceal and carry it.
No.
Because that's a thing in Minnesota. You can get a permit to purchase, but not conceal and carry if you don't
Yeah.
want to for some
That's
reason.
that's
lethal.
how a lot of these school shooters be getting their hands on them guns quick and then just go straight to the shooting is because they don't need to do all that.
That's fucked.
They just need the ID. In some of these
But
southern
Florida
states.
been on some
Now it gets
ultimate
worse with
nut
age.
shit
They
since
been on
forever.
some shit. On me, they've been on some
So
shit.
I feel like they treat they shit like the Wild Wild West, like same as Texas.
A
Like,
little
they don't
bit.
really
You can
care.
buy. You can get. So this is a weird law in Florida when you're 18 too. As long as you're 18 or older, you can carry a concealed firearm or weapon without a concealed weapons permit in Florida. So as long as it's within within the interior of a private conveyance and the weapon is securely encased or is otherwise not ready for accessible for immediate use.
Nice.
So basically, like you have to be on private property to
Yeah.
have a gun in your pocket
Yeah,
if
they
you're
gonna
18
be
or
in-
to
So
21.
So
but
basically, you can still
Type
carry
shit.
that bitch anywhere.
basically anywhere, because as long as you
because
have a gun,
anywhere is
Damn,
private
that's
or
crazy.
private property
as long
until
as
you
you're not
enter
going
a
to, like,
public building,
like the
Yeah,
mall or
yeah,
something.
literally.
That's fucked.
But yeah,
Well,
that shit down.
Huh.
That shit gonna be crazy in Florida. Shit gonna be
Uh,
lit.
Before
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they
Shit
trying
gonna
to
be
have it. Like I
poppin'.
feel like that's what they on. I feel like they have like too much going on down there, and they want to crack down.
They
but
said
they
no
don't
more
have,
tourists,
They don't have
just
a
free to
solid
guns.
way. They don't
give
have
them
a
straps,
solid
give our
way to
people
crack
straps.
down. So they
I
just gonna
mean-
give everybody guns and let them smoke each other, and we gonna catch whoever last.
Oh god.
Survival of the fittest.
Literally on
We'll
some
catch
on
the
some
top.
Chicago.
You know what's crazy?
They on some Chicago shit right now.
Speaking of gun laws, so there was
Real
that case
Chicago.
of that kid that was like 16 that killed that girl, and he was only gonna get 2 years. Remember I was telling you guys about that? Maybe maybe Vino. We were talking about it in the car or something on the way to Detroit.
Oh yeah, the
Oh.
prosecutor.
So that prosecutor that used to be a prosecutor is now the or used to be
Oh,
a defendant and
yeah.
is now the prosecutor or whatever. However that works. But so Keith Ellison, what is his job?
Keith Ellison is the attorney general.
Attorney General sent a letter to them and says they need to reevaluate that case, the one I was telling you about. So it got note of the higher ups like, why is this person only getting 2 years for
Yeah.
cold blood murder?
Thank
Yeah.
God. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
son.
Yeah,
And
no,
it's like
that's dope.
kids. It's always a lot of times it just be kids out here doing the stupid shit and then getting off in 2-3 years and
Well,
then they
That's gonna
right back
affect.
at it.
That's gonna affect her too, is because now like Keith is gonna see her name when
Yeah.
she want to become a judge and
Yeah,
doing all that
literally.
other shit.
It's gonna
So
be
it's
like,
like-
da da da,
Yeah,
yo
it's
ass.
like hold on. I remember I had to keep revoking some of your shit. But
You
yeah,
trying to
it's
let
cool.
killers walk.
It's cool that he's in the position that he's in. Bro's been able to change a lot of major court cases in Minnesota history. And so bro's definitely going to be in some history books for sure. Especially with his last trial, the George Floyd one. So yeah, it's insane. It's insane that he overturned that, because that is fucked up to get 2 years for
Catch a
taking
body.
somebody family member.
You walked
Yeah,
into,
bro. But
literally.
like you walk
on
into
the
a
flip
building
side, TK
with
got
a
like
gun.
50 years and he didn't
Yeah.
pull the trigger, right?
Exactly.
So
different states
Yeah.
and shit
like,
have weird rules.
What
But
kind
like
of
if you
shit's going
you
on with, like,
purposely
what?
you walked into a building with the intent to use this gun to kill somebody, like it's not like you accidentally pulled the trigger or like you found a gun in a drawer, like you found a gun on the counter after someone was yet like hit you first, and then you killed some. Like you walked into a building with the
Yeah.
intent to do
Like
that.
you plotted,
Yeah.
like you woke up, you drove, you got the tools to do it, you
Yeah.
got everything assembled, went in there, found the person, and committed the murder.
Yeah, it's not like
there's
someone hit you
enough
first and then you
time-
just went crazy and you had a knife in your pocket and killed them.
Like, bro, like there's like that's not no
It's
type of shit. Like that's
premeditated.
it's way too premeditated to let someone walk, bro. That shows different levels of psychosis, bro.
Because I know too, like I know that the argument too can just be like, what is that 2 years or more gonna do on the 18-year-old brain mind? But it's just like sometimes it's like, bro, I feel like sometimes you really do gotta just sit down and learn a lesson though too, like.
Like at
Taking life
17,
is different, bro.
you should
That's
know
different.
better.
Yeah, that's different, bro.
Like at
Taking
17,
You're
life
kind of
is
nuts,
different.
low key.
Yeah.
like you're definitely on a different type of time. Because I want to not even gonna lie. At 17, there was not an ounce of me that could walk into somebody's house and do something horrible like that.
Nah,
Like defending yourself is completely different.
yeah.
But like that at 17, you know, like you got like you're driving, you know what you're doing.
The U.S. should buy some land for like a 51st state and just completely fence it off, and then just put every like bad person in it.
Just the Wild West.
I seen a Vice video where they had like
And let
They
them
had,
let
like-
them all mingle and like build the economy. Then if they don't wanna do
I
it.
seen like a
Yeah,
Vice
yeah.
video
Sure,
where they
it's
had like a
Antarctica, give it
bunch
to
of pedophiles and they like they put them all in like a trailer park.
Oh, I feel
Like
like
in
I heard
Florida
about
or some
that.
shit. Yeah,
I've
it's like
seen
in
that
Florida.
shit.
Like that ain't
I
gonna
was like,
work.
what the fuck, bro?
How is that gonna help anything?
I don't
Crazy.
even know, bro. I'm like, how you gonna have them all just living next
And
to
that-
each
all
other?
gonna be
That
fighting
video,
with each other.
that video
That's what
was
I'm like,
crazy,
bro,
bro.
what the fuck?
That video is crazy because you would literally see like you would be like they showed like people like in their like houses and shit, and they literally just like looked like not top shelf, like bottom of the barrel predators type shit, like
Oh
like
my
exactly what you
God.
would expect.
Oh
like
my God.
like bro out here with the cut off flannels, big
Nah,
ass
yeah,
fat
that
as
shit
hell,
was
looking
looking
like
crazy.
Greaseball Johnson. Like you wouldn't even want
With
him
ketchup
near
stain
you,
on the
let
right
alone young
nipple.
kids.
No cap, that shit was looking crazy, bro. Like you wouldn't even want to drop your kid within a 300-mile radius of that area.
Bro,
Like,
literally,
dead
you're
ass.
moving states when you
dead
find
ass,
out that's
bro.
within the
Like,
same state as
dead
you,
Half
bro.
a trip to
ass.
Detroit.
But I don't
Hey,
even.
man,
I
it's
forgot
worth
how
it,
they
man.
even all got there though. Like I forgot how the hell they all got placed there
I think it's a known refuge for them, but I forgot
because
how,
they can't get jobs or they couldn't get housing nowhere else, right? Yeah.
I think they
feel
just
like it was
started getting
something like that.
accepted, and maybe it was like I want to say it was something with like MySpace or something at the time.
Yeah,
I
some
don't know. I'm tweaking.
weird ass shit, bro. Some weird ass shit.
I don't know how pedophiles get down with the social media.
And yeah,
man.
so they're
But
trying.
They
it
found a
somewhere.
place for refuge.
They're trying to put all the criminals. They're trying to put all the criminals somewhere and let them live. But it looked crazy. It just looked crazy.
Hey
You
man,
look at it and
stop
you're like,
targeting
what the
these
hell?
schools and target the real monsters, yo. Let's be real. No kidding.
Wow.
No, yeah, that's
Yeah, we said it. Let me know.
He
I'm
said,
playing, I'm
"Bro,
playing, I'm
ass
playing.
trying to get.
But
He trying to turn niggas into vigilantes.
hey
over
man, we got Batman in the street with the 40. You know what I'm saying?
All right, before we gotta get to this live stream here in a second, but if you're listening to music live stream, but since we put Zodiac on the thumbnail, we should at least talk about some new music before we get out of
Hey,
here.
man.
Zodiac dropped a
Music
tape.
alert.
The
Man.
two vamp heads on the other side of the table over there have probably listened to it about 10 times through.
I
I'm sure.
have
Oh, 10
not
times.
listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a very
or-
long project.
Yeah, it's
very
what was
long.
it like 19 songs?
I think I want to say I want to say it was almost 20.
I've only listened to about a couple.
I've only listened to maybe the first 3.
It's not
or
on all
4.
platforms. I don't even use SoundCloud no more. So
I use
Oh,
SoundCloud.
yeah, you're right. 19.
I think the beats are really
It's about the
grimy and
SoundCloud
nice,
revitalization.
and I think it is a great project to display his ultimate rage vamp sound, but he makes better music like when he's like, I guess, emotionally vamp type shit. It's just a different.
Yeah.
It's just 2 different rap styles.
Because
Yeah.
my I'd say like my personal favorite song of his in general is probably Your Loss.
Mhm.
And like that song is literally talking about like your loss. He's talking about like a shit like this girl. It's like it's your loss that you ain't with me no more type shit.
Mhm.
But like you listen to this project, it's a lot more like I'm off the drugs. I'm rocking Rick. I'm with my niggas doing this. It's a different type. It's definitely a really different energy than
Like-
a lot of his other projects.
like, the
for
thing
sure.
is, his
especially
beats-
like a lot of the beats are pretty.
Off top are always rage, but these are like rage to the max, where it's like he's not trying to rap about nothing else besides materialism type shit.
The beat
Yeah.
sounded like if you did a concert, them speakers are gonna need a fucking retuning after.
Yeah, you gonna need some new speakers
bitches
after that
gonna
next
need a
Zell
new
show
life.
for sure.
No, but honestly, he did his thing though.
Yeah, bro. I
It's
mean,
just
I
not
thought
the type of Zoe that I
love seeing
I
the
like
growth.
the most.
That
I
you're
love seeing
used
the
to.
Yeah,
growth.
bro.
Yeah,
I thought it was an interesting step into like kind of like his sound, because it's like his sound, like as far as like a lot of like, because like there wasn't, I noticed like compared to a lot of his other releases, there was less Amir produced beats. There were a lot
Yep,
more
yep.
like real like just those super gritty like rage type beats, and it was just kind of interesting seeing like that iteration coming into like a full project.
Yeah, like full bass boost project.
Yeah, like it makes me think like, is this like the new sound that he's going for, or is it just like, or just was this like a one-off project
I
where
feel
it's
like
just
it's
kind of
like
almost
like
a
a-
rock
I feel
metal
like it's
album?
almost like a Summers thing, when he has the Dark Summers and then the Plug B&B.
What does
Mm.
it NFSW stand for?
Not safe for work. It's a section on Reddit,
Mhm.
basically, and it's like it just privates or filters pictures.
Oh, it's I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
like don't look at this around other people if you're gonna
Yeah.
go to this thread.
Mhm.
type shit?
So it's
Mhm.
music's
Not
like don't
safe
play this
for work.
music
Mhm.
around at work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah,
th-
that's
and one thing I gotta say is his cover art is nasty, bro. That shit goes crazy.
This nigga just like bondage bitches.
Like, I don't know. I don't like. If at first it took me a little bit to figure out what was going on when I initially looked at it. And that's when you know that shit hard, when you really got to figure out what's going on. And then I
Shit.
figured out, I was like,
SoundCloud,
damn, he looked like a real villain.
SoundCloud.
'Cause I looked
I'd say
at it,
cover
I don't
arts are
remember no
usually the
bondage.
best cover arts, or the most thought out cover
Oh, I
arts.
see.
Unique for sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Uh,
I thought it was mad unique.
It
think
looks
it's fire.
AI generated.
Let me see it.
It's
For sure. But yeah, the Zoe tape.
It looks AI generated almost.
Yes, sir, ski. I'm fucking with it though. I'm fucking with it though. At least
Yeah,
from
he
like
look-
the
it's
I
like-
think
Oh, yeah.
one or
And
two
then put
songs I've
him
heard.
in it.
Religious
Yeah.
organization
And he
is
over here,
his
like, that shit
business.
called like he literally
Yeah.
looked like a little demon, like
He's
a
a
like a
religion,
hell
bro.
rider or something with
Fuck
the
with
leather
it, fuck
jacket
with it.
on. That shit
He's a
kinda
cult.
And then you click on it and it's just a bunch of other vamps.
Yeah, all the
got-
vamps.
Yeah,
Those
you
are-
gotta
that's the
be a
cult.
religious
Vamp
organization, because the thing is like, to go against God, you have to know God. So you still have to be religious, basically.
Oh
I don't
my
know. Look,
God.
to be honest though,
Oh God.
You feel
you
me?
get to understand both sides of it.
I'm a lean guy,
You
real deal,
feel me?
I'm a diva. I don't remember. I
Or-
forgot what that
or
nigga said, but
number
that
one
part.
diva challenge.
That part. I'm finna be a number one diva on their ass. But yeah, we finna get to
OB.
we finna get to listening to y'all music. Thank you for tuning in to this podcast. You know we love y'all. Waterway family, 1521 Como Avenue Southeast. We got the vintage, we got the shoes, we got the drip. Come through, slide through. We got new Gucci belts coming out, whatever. Just different stuff.
Yes, sir.
Just-
Yeah.
today there's
All
at
the
least
drip,
like
man.
50 new items that went out on the floor.
Shout
So
I'm
out
still rocking for
LSU.
Lindsay, man. Fuck
Shout
that
out
bitch.
WWE.
Shout out to
out to
everybody. Shout out Angel Reese. Shout out Young Boy. Shout out Rey Mysterio. Shout out.
Man, shout out Smoking Skull, man.
Oh,
Shout
me,
out-
my nigga just made it
shout
to the
out-
Hall of Fame.
Shout out Chief
Oh,
Keef,
me.
man. The greatest ever do
and
it.
fuck Rey Mysterio's son. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's my
I'm just
nigga.
kidding. Nah, he finna be cold though. I can't even lie.